Hi everyone, how are you doing today? So I call this video how to pass through this week and still stay sane because things doesn't make sense. Things that we work so hard for, doesn't manifest, or things that we didn't think that will manifest actually starting to happen. And we looks like we have plans and we want to be organized and we want to make it happen, but still things are not breaking through. And actually the energy right now is really divine. We're in the sign of Pisces. The sun is in Pisces, Mercury is in Pisces, Saturn is in Pisces. So it's true, Mercury in Pisces is very blurry, Mercury in Pisces is very dreamy, Mercury in Pisces doesn't know how to be organized, but it has connection. Mercury in Pisces has connection. It has connection with the divine. So if things are not clear for us right now, maybe because it doesn't need to be clear, maybe because if it's very clear, we are just walking like robots. And remember what year we are in, because we are talking from, again, 2020, especially this year and even more next year. We are in a process of detached from slavery. We don't want to be slave anymore. We don't want to be slave to anything, not to food and not to love and not to social media and not to people recognize us and not for nothing. We just don't want to be attached to nothing. And when we are not attached, then we connect to divine. And look, we are in this month of Pisces that we can connect to divine. The sun is in Pisces. Mercury and the sun coming tomorrow together. And that Mercury and the sun together is really connection to the divine. And they're also connect to Saturn. Now, Saturn is very much reality, but it's beautiful because you can say that, oh my God, everything is so blurry. Saturn is putting a lot of pressure on us. I feel guilty that I cannot do what I want to do. Or you can change the perspective and says, awesome. Sun Mercury in Pisces can be very annoying, but it can be also amazing, because if I take that Sun and Mercury in Pisces and I can connect to something that is beyond me, and Saturn, instead of feeling guilty, feeling have the discipline to let go. It depends, discipline is discipline. Saturn is discipline. The only question is, where do we put our mind? Do we put our mind into discipline and guilt? Because Saturn could be awful. It can be so much guilt. I'm not doing everything. I'm not successful. You're not doing enough. Or if Saturn, that connect to Pisces, can say, okay, I need to change my perspective. There's no guilt. I need to be concentrated. Let me concentrate on noticing everything that is happening in my life instead of blaming myself. Let me notice, because suddenly we're going to start to notice the Pisces and the Saturn energy together can work beautifully if we know how to aim our directions, if we know where we're headed. And where we're headed is to start paying attention to things that are happening in our life. We can even pay attention how we are affected from people, because Pisces, they're adapting. They blend with someone else's. And we can have a mother or a father or a child or a loved one that is going through hard time. And us, because we want to help so much, that what Pisces does, wants to help so much, we want to take the pain of the other person. Taking the pain of the other person will not help the process, because if my mother has an issue right now, and I want so much to help my mom that I feel her pain so much, I will not be able to help her because I'm getting into her pain. I can only help her if I'm out of my pain and I can pull her out. All right, so that Saturn can help us do. If people around us going through difficult times, if we are going through difficult times, we will be able to take ourselves outside and change the perspective of how do we see things. Because Pisces can easily become a victim. We don't want to go into that victim. We actually heal from, we can see that if my mom have an issue, suddenly I start to feel bad. And then if my mom have an issue and my dad has an issue and my children have an issue and my friends have an issue, I feel that I wake up in the morning and I cannot breathe, not even from my own, from just observing from my surrounding. So for us to help others is to say, you know, Creator, I want to help all of you. I love all of you, but I'm not willing to take any of your misery on me. So when you are disconnect yourself from misery of other people, you finally find strength to really help them. And when we are able to disconnect ourselves from our own misery, we will be able to help ourselves as well. And that's the Pisces and the Saturn energy coming together when we see, you know, we see what needs to be done. We're not judging ourselves. We get clear. We start to observe. And when we look from above and we observe, then we can sort out. We can know what we want to keep and what do we want to keep and what do we want to let go. And the energy that is happening, the confusion, is for us to let go, to go above, and start to see things from a different perspective. Blame and guilt just doesn't work. How many times we need to tell ourselves, it doesn't work. You know, sometimes we think, if I'll feel guilty, then maybe things will be better, because if I feel bad, maybe someone will feel for me. Nonsense. Guilt and shame, that all that Saturn wants to give us right now, that is conjunct the moon and Mercury, does not help. But it does help to change the perspective, to take responsibility and to do what's working and not what's not working, but easy to do. Okay? So everything today, Mars in Aquarius is squaring Jupiter. Mars is energy of fighting. Jupiter is expanding. You know, so it's a day full of power. But do we want to take that power into frustration? Aquarius, I don't have the freedom to do what I want. Taurus is, I don't have what I want, and you want to fight it, or you're just going, okay, I'm not achieving what I want right now. I'm just going to let go. I'm going to observe why. Maybe my guilt is not allowing me. Maybe feeling sad for someone that has the same problem with me, that I take their issues together with mine and it's not working. Stress is not going to take me anywhere. That's for sure. Okay, so it's a beautiful energy of making things happen. Let's take that energy by observing and know exactly where to go. All right, and tomorrow we have that. Sun and Mercury and Saturn all together. And then on Friday, that Sun in Pisces is sextiling Jupiter, which is a harmonic relationship between them. It's when we are able to observe and not to fall into victim or saving the world or trying to take things that doesn't belong to us, or even things that guilt, for example, in our life doesn't belong to us. It doesn't belong. We just need to let it go. So on Friday, you know, and this weekend, we can come to a place of peace. Peace when the Sun in Pisces is divine and Jupiter is divine. And it's in Taurus, and Taurus is safety and love and comfort. So when we learn how to observe and change the perspective of how do we see life, we're not victims, we're not saviors. We don't even know anything. We just want to follow, you know? And we see that the weekend can be a totally different energy than the week. It has to do with how hard do we work during the week, and hard means changing our perspective of how do we see things and see how things change. So I wish a week of miracle to everyone. and success. And thank you for being here with me. Love you all. Bye.